Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 70th episode of Concerned Dabs Podcast. I'm your host, Katie M. Kane. Our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he is a producer. He's produced for guys who went gold, and he's on Billboard, and he's the man. He did the Pullman song, man. He put out Major Parade. He put out Katie Kane. You know what I mean? Like this guy is the man as far as where I'm from and music is concerned, and I'm really happy to have him on my show. His name is Tyrant. His production company is called Burn County, and he's got some new shit in the works, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear us, Tyrant?
Yep, I can hear you good.
All right, man. All right. So, how's it been going lately, man?
Busy.
Busy?
Oh, yeah. Things have been crazy. I mean, since the COVID thing hit, like everybody's canceled their tours. So everybody's just kind of twiddling their thumbs and trying to release music. So it's just coming through by the loads.
Dope, man. So lots of work and lots of placements. I saw that you dropped a new single recently within the past couple of weeks. What was the name of that?
Undefeated.
Undefeated by Burn County. And who was the guy featured on there?
It was Outlaw.
He's Outlaw Big Dipper?
Outlaw Dipper, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy with cans of chew?
Yep.
Oh, man, next time, I want to meet him next time. Tell him to bring a couple cans of dip for Kane, man. Like, I want to try that shit, dude, for reals.
Yeah, no, he's got his dip line in order. He's doing it. He's got his whole chain in comedy route, the music route. I mean, he's really kind of attacking all elements. He even did a movie. It's released on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon. Yeah.
No shit, dude. You gotta send me the link to that, man.
Yeah.
I'll support the guy. But the song, dope. Super hype, super upbeat, fucking danceable. And the video, dude, super cool animations, man.
Thanks, man.
Did you shoot the video and edit the video?
So I had a lot of all the creativity and mastermind work needs to be credited to my boy John. He's from Beluga. And he is kind of my mentor in all the video aspects, helping me with lighting videos, shooting music videos, setting up, green screen work, photo shoots, B-roll stuff. He's been showing me everything, how to use Final Cut, but he's really kind of been pulled into the Burn County family, and he's going to be producing videos and stuff for some BC artists. And I really, really love the ingenuity, creativity, like to not just, kind of do a video rap in front of the camera, 3 minutes just rapping in front of the camera, bringing something new to the entertainment element of it. And I think it turned out really well. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. It reminded me, what was that Ludacris video? Twin Glock Podies. Yeah. Cock back, me and my homie.
Yeah.
With the top, yeah, dude, it reminded me of that video. You guys had the big heads, but it was different. You could tell it was influenced by that, but it is.
Yeah, it's
kind of South Parkish too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix between like a jib jab element and that big head type thing, because the whole body work was done by John. So he's out there in the junkyard just dancing and everything, walking through with his shirt off and stuff. We just put our heads on his body. So yeah, it really came out we're getting a lot of positive feedback to it, and I'm glad to bring an entertainment element to it, because I want to be a little bit different. I want to just take things to a little extra step or sidestep away from the mainstream.
Yeah, that's dope too, man. Shout out to that John guy, man, because I'm always by myself trying to do the shit on my own, man, and it's hard to get another body to show up. And so the fact that he's like, nah, just send me a picture of your face rapping in front of a green screen and I'll take care of the rest. Like, that's dope. What an independent hustle, hustler type dude. That's tight.
Yeah, he did. He did that Dyke Foot. Yeah, so he's pretty talented guy. So I'm happy to have him on the team.
And that short film Dykefoot, where can people see that? Is that on Amazon at all yet, or is it showing at Film Fest or something?
We did a screening for it. Was it 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago. But And they submitted it to some film festivals, and I'm not sure what the status of it is currently. I know they were trying to get it on to some streaming stores, but I'm not sure where it went.
Okay, okay. Well, that's dope. So, can I give the people a little bit of history on some of your background, man? Can I ask where you grew up originally and then where you went to high school?
Yeah, I grew up in Cal Falls, 2 hours north of Spokane,
Okay.
real close to the Canadian border. Small town, 1,100 people, and yeah, kind of very small town vibe and everything you think goes on in a small town. Never touched music throughout high school. Um, I did sports and stuff, and then when I moved and graduated from Spokane after transferred junior year to Spokane, I attended a couple years at Shadle Park, and then came down to Vancouver to go to Clark, and I got a job at Future Shop, and that's when I started hearing some music. And when I was working cell phones, and I heard some music coming from car audio, and I walked over there and I was like, whoa, like who is this? And this guy named Ryan McGuire was going, this is me. And I go, yeah, I know it's your CD, but like, who is it on the CD? And he's like, yeah, that's me. And I'm like, no, on the CD, who's rapping? He's like, that's me. And then I was like, what? And he showed me his studio, showed me how he made beats. He did all his rapping, did all his mixing. I was like blown away. And I knew then I wanted to do this. And I've been chasing that dream ever since.
That's dope, man. Shout out to RPM for inspiring the kid, man. Yeah, man. I got a couple beats from RPM. He's my buddy, you know what I mean? I haven't talked to him in a really long time, but I didn't know it was that direct of an inspiration, man. That's tough.
Oh, yeah, dude, that guy set my fire.
Yeah, that's tight, dude. Fucking A, man. And then you eventually transferred from Clark to WSU, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and then that's when I ran into you. DeCurian introduced me to you. You know what I mean? And DeCurian was doing his rap thing, and I got my production from you and got to put out my album. And I was really proud of Hard Liquor and Mary Jane, right? But the Pullman song crushed that shit, bro. Like that, as far as the school goes, they still play that at the football games today, bro. Is it on iTunes? Like, can people still go and find that somewhere?
Yeah, it's out there. I know Cascade Entertainment, TJ Minkler was still like licensing it through BMI and stuff, so it was, I think, on all the streaming avenues. I lost track of it. I let him deal with it. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's a clear like indication of, like, as an artist, you never know what songs the people are gonna like. You can't pick your hits; they pick them for you. And I mean, to some degree, that song had tremendous success. I remember getting, like, it was on the radio station. They had to retire it because it was on #1 for so long. Everybody just kept calling in. But come on, I mean, dust your shirt off your shoulder, dirt off your shoulders, or whatever. You know, I mean, in a small college town, you know, they're gonna root for the one that applies to them, they can relate to. So, and it was all about partying and Pullman, and yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, you can't pick your singles, you can't pick your songs, your hits, but I'm glad I gave that to, or have had the ability or whatever to give that to Wazoo, and that people still listen to it. It's cool.
Word. And was that one of the first times that you worked with Derek on a song too?
Yeah, it was the first time.
That's tight. Cause yeah, man, I remember hearing it. I was like, cruising down Stadium Way. I'm just cruising down Stadium Way. I'm just cruising down Stadium Way. I'm like, oh shit, man. That's what I was doing at that exact moment. You know what I mean? And it's on the radio, so I'm just like, this is dope. You know what I mean? That's my boy. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
A moment in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and another point to that, it was the first song we sat down, plucked some single notes on the guitar. I was just putting some chords with it, and we just ran with it. We didn't think about it. We didn't overthink it. We just did it. And it's kind of replicated in a lot of people that come through the studio and they record or they'll freestyle. And when I just like turn them on and they go red, and then they start freestyling and they're spitting fire. Like they're spitting fire, and it's amazing. And then they come back and they're writing stuff down and they're reading it and trying to spit with that energy and authenticity, and they don't match that magic. There's something that goes on with like the spontaneous, just don't overthink it type thing. And it's, yeah, I think that definitely I try to get that and convey that moment, because I experienced it firsthand, and it's been replicated over and over the years, where I'm like, no, just do what you were doing. Stop thinking about it. Stop sounding like you're reading it. Just, you can freestyle. Give me some fire, and then that's how E40 and a lot of people write. Yeah. They go in the booth and they just start freestyling. They let the beat ride. Yep, let the beat ride, and they just
let me keep that punch man right here.
Yep, just like that. Yeah. And it sounds.
Corrupt has been doing that forever, and he's half and half. I love Corrupt, but sometimes you can tell that he's doing that. It's like,
like when he drops bitch, what?
Yeah.
14 times in a 16 month.
Yeah, it's like
bitch and bitch.
Yeah, you gotta rhyme other words, bro. Like I'm digging the delivery, no doubt. But
yeah, that's you know what though? That verse is classic.
Yeah, it is. West Coast shit, man. For real. Yeah.
I mean, the whole album's classic, but yeah.
Yeah. And so following the path, so you fucked shit up at Wazoo for the whole time you were there, basically, right? After you graduated, you moved on to Spokane. I remember you weren't the only person that graduated that year, but I remember there was the 2 years I was at Wazoo, there was such this community of musicians, and it wasn't just rap homies. Like there was the musicians, and there was Dave In and the Stax Brothers, and there was all these different artists who were supporting each other and showing up to each other's shows and really pushing each other to keep going. And it seems like after you graduate, I think the lead singer for Musicians, I think he graduated the same year, Kevin. The vibe just was different after that. I think Dave N stuck around one more year after that, and he introduced me to Thug Sick, but the vibe wasn't there anymore, Tyrant. You know what I mean? And so I had to follow you, bro, to Spokane and then everywhere else you went to get my production, man. What was it like when you got to Spokane from college, man? Like, what was the story behind that?
It was definitely, I was riding this wave of like, people actually listen to my music, like I need to run with this. Like, I don't want to go and get a 9-to-5 and work for somebody else. Like, that was been my whole dream, to just do music for a living. So I put commercials on the radio. I spent $220, I think it was $220, and I thought that was a lot at the time.
Yeah. Broke out of college, rent was like $350 back then, man.
Yeah,
that's like almost rent, like fuck, shit.
Man, times have changed, but I put commercial on the radio, and it just exploded. Like, I did 18 records that year after college. My commercials running on, is it 95 point? I know, what was it? Can't remember the station in Spokane.
The rap station kept changing back then, man.
Yeah. Jamming 93.3. Jamming 93.3.
Wild 93, something like that.
Or 103. Wild
103. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
I don't think it is, bro. I listen to 94.5 now.
Okay.
Trying to catch some Godsmack on the radio, man.
Hey, speaking of, I just mixed a song with Corey Taylor in it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Tight, man. Is it dope?
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
That's tight, man.
Amit did the guitars on it, and we really kind of rocked it out on the new Moonshine record. So it's got that, like...
Moonshine got him on their new album?
Yeah. That
is tight, dude.
Yeah.
I really, that guy can write, bro. Super heavy and super fucking sexy too, man. Like that Stone Sour shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
I like Slipknot, but Stone Sour is more my speed, man. Like got songs about girls and shit too, So
yeah, and it's amazing how when an artist can, not just kind of pigeonhole or be pigeonholed into one thing. If you are
Yes.
diverse enough to be able to, I mean, humans and people, well, people are humans. Have another drink, Ty. Though I think it's like, I think people just go through, you live, you have all these range of emotions, and for you to be, one thing musically and just do that one thing, there's nothing wrong with that, I mean, Little John did it. I mean, people do it all the time. They have one thing, they stick in their lane, they stay in their lane, and they, press the gas pedal. But when you can try to reach that whole gamut, I think show those different sides of emotion and fun and sad and hurt songs, I think it just kind of says more about your artistry. So
Yeah, no doubt. I agree. So after you got the commercials on the radio in Spokane, what was the response like, dude?
well, yeah, I was it was a little overwhelming. I had two roommates at the time. I was in the house, had my studio in the closet in my bedroom, so people would come through, which is fine. When all the high school kids and everybody that heard the commercial would come through, and they would sit out and play, PlayStation and in the living room and kind of wait until their turn. And my neighbors or my roommates were like, "Yeah, bro, you're kind of commandeering the whole house. You run this business. People are just constantly being shoveled through because they're wanting to record, and I'm making beats for them." And yeah, it was really busy, and it kind of it started making me think, what am I doing going forward? Because I was doing well, but I sacrificed a lot of time, and I wasn't growing out of Spokane,
Yeah,
because I kept depending on, as a producer, I think it's often perceived that you are dependent upon the artists and their success. They go on tour, they get you heard, and so on and so forth. Uh, I mean, especially in that time frame, I felt like I just needed the artists. Like I couldn't do it on my own. I needed artists to get me out there so I could, get more exposure.
yeah,
But I had a girl come through, and she was singing, and like she came through like the studio or whatever, and she's like, yeah, this guy had this commercial, and I want to get recorded for a demo. And she's like a junior in high school, and she's gonna come to this 23-year-old, or was I 22 at the time, like into his bedroom and record in his closet. It just sounded super sketchy. And their parents came through and kind of checked out the whole thing. It was like, oh, okay. I had it all like done up. I mean, it was a booth. I had it foam.
yeah. It was legit, man.
I mean, it was a sweat box.
Yeah,
There's still sweat boxes.
yeah,
Vocal shields, kids. Use vocal shields. They're great. But no, I mean, so it just kind of made me think, what am I doing long term? And when I bounced out of Spokane, I kind of met up with some other people that I think my headlights were just, I was deer in the headlights. And anytime I saw something flashy or any opportunity to, somebody's got money to fund my company, and Tyrant Productions is going to be huge, and blah blah blah, and I could run a label and blah blah blah, because I didn't have the money that I needed, that I felt like I needed to kind of expand. So
yeah,
I just relied on a lot of other people, and it's great this day and age. I mean, for those that are watching and interested in music, or know people that are doing music, it's just amazing. It's amazing to not have to be reliant on anybody these days. I mean, you can do it all. You can, I mean, I'll recommend it because you kill yourself doing it, but you don't need anybody. I mean, with social media and the reach that social media has, if you are good, then people will recognize it, and if you keep at it, people will recognize it. And I always give the analogy of rolling the snowball. You start rolling that snowball, and it might be small, but you start pushing it, and sometimes you got to push that bitch uphill, and it sucks, and you don't want to push it anymore because it's freaking heavy. But you keep at it, and you make it to the top of the hill, and during that time you're pushing, I see everyone else pushing their snowballs, and it gets too hard. I'm not gonna push this snowball anymore. I'm gonna go do something else. And I well, gosh, I don't know how many times I've wanted to give up.
yeah. I remember you quitting a few times. You know what I mean? Like it was, and it seemed like I was always in finish mode, and it's like, fuck. You know, like, come on, dude. Like, just show up for 2 days at RPMs. I just need the files for these 5. You know what I mean? And it was cool because you would show up and then eventually you'd come back around. And it just seemed like that was like a question I wanted to ask you, too. It just seemed like every time you'd quit and come back, it was almost like a reinvention. Like you'd have something new that you were doing different. And
Yeah.
I remember the Major Parade album, dude. Can you talk about that and what was the inspiration behind that? Because I know that was like after you got to Oregon, right? Because it's like you, Sweeney, like a bunch of homies from college got there before I did, and so it was cool to show up and have guys to plug in and work with. You know what I mean? But when I heard the Major Parade album, I was telling Mitch and Jess about this before we went live, but I was like, dude, that shit's tight. It's like some funky EDM shit, and I never heard anything like that, you know. And especially not from you, dude. I was like, what the fuck? You're making shit like this too? Tight, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you're exactly right. I think when you when you reach a limit, I think there's a threshold, and when you get in that limit, you you reach you reach I guess a space where you're just it's no longer a happy place doing something that you are really passionate about, and when you take a step away from it, I think you can like recollect your thoughts and um, listening to music because I constantly listen to music and which is really weird because since the quarantine I've listened to less music than I
Yeah,
ever have. It's really weird.
same. I try and look, but I play like the first few songs. I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to
Yeah.
listen to the. I'd rather make something better than what I'm fucking hearing that's available right now, and it's almost like a re-inspiration from 2000
Yeah.
in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I,
this
I
shit's whack. This doesn't represent me. I can make something better than this, and now I have the means to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think um there's a time when like you're in the right headspace. Maybe you're just there's a sweet spot where I think people get to when they are in a certain frame of mind and they hear this certain song at just the right time in their lives, and it just lights a spark.
Yeah.
And where I read some statistic before where I think it was not everybody gets chills when they listen to music. It was like I think it was like I don't want to say the statistics. I can't recall it off the top of my head, but it was surprising because I thought everybody experienced that emotional connection to music at some point or other, and
Yeah.
it's not true for everybody. It's very interesting, like how the brain perceives, or if you excel at math and you lack in like creativity. I mean, like it's really interesting. But um, not to say that you can't excel both, but
Yeah. Because that's one thing that on those standardized tests from school, they always said I tested high in math and science, right?
uh,
And it's like because I would crush those classes, but my English and writing teachers would be like, "Yo, this kid's kind of nice," you know, and that's just school papers and shit. So I'm like, how come the fucking government test didn't say that? You know? And so that it just I feel like that's been my thing too. It just emotion, you know, being able to write about the way that you feel and express that.
oh yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
you've done some very powerful songs, and it's funny because this happens all the time where like if I'm working with the artist and they send me the stems and I'm mixing it, I've made the music and they wrote to it and then they laid down the vocals and send it back to me. I'm mixing it and I don't even listen to the lyrics. I'm working on other avenues. I'm working all the musical elements
Yeah.
sonically,
So
sounding.
put it in the pocket, make everything stereo. Yeah.
Yeah, listening to uh, the word fire, because the F didn't come in right and you're gating it and trying to clear out the white noise in the background and compressing it nice and tight but still getting it to roll off at the right knee and all that stupid stuff. And when you when you when you hear fire 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 and you're playing it on this, you're just you don't listen to the actual content of, you can't put out you can't put out the fire when you're burning inside the house, you know? And they have like a very prolific line, and it's like, oh snap! But you don't hear. I don't hear that. I don't hear that
Yeah.
when I'm mixing it. I go and I do this all, and I send it back, and then like months later, a months later, I'll like be going through and I'll be listening to stuff in my email, and I'll be like, oh shit. And then I text my artist, I'm like, bro, that line is fire. And he's like, yeah, thanks, man. Like, delayed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Yeah, and they don't get it, you know? Like,
Yeah. You sent me
and
those texts before, you know what I mean? For Flower and Lard, you was like, yo, what are you gonna do with this? I'm like, I'm gonna shoot a video
oh,
and put it out. And you were just like, man, that song's tight. And I'm like,
dude.
we did that fucking forever ago. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I'm like,
Oh, dude, I rocked the shit out of that. Like, on a
yeah.
couple times, like, I don't know, a couple months ago or something. Yeah, I was like, dude, this is so freaking good. Like, the world needs to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm glad to work with guys who can recognize the emotional aspect even if it's late. But dude, the technical side, bro, like that's now that I'm doing production stuff, it's like, fuck. I was paying attention, you know, looking over your shoulder at the screen, but I should have paid more attention, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. It is, man. I appreciate all of the skills that you've applied to any project I've worked on, and just the time spent, man. The expertise, the experience, it counts. You know, like I was talking about that with Craze with Trent a couple weeks ago. Like, dude, some people you just feel good working with. You know what I mean? And
Oh, yeah.
You trust their shit. And so you've always been one of those guys, man.
I appreciate it, man. I always love working with you too.
Yeah. But back to the major parade, dude. So like what was the like, cause bro, it was. I'm like, what the fuck? Like they had the song My Friend on there, and I was like, this is a fucking good song.
My favorite song. I think that might be that. Yeah, that's one of my most proudest songs that I've ever done. I love that song. I don't know what it is about it, but it's super powerful to me. And I don't write too many things that really strike a nerve with me. Like, I'll write it for a reason, and I feel a certain way, and I try to convey that emotion through the song. And some when I listen back to it, it doesn't hit me the way I wanted it to hit. And I don't know if it does that for other people or not, but that song I wrote and I was like, oh, dude, this is so powerful. And then when I laid it down, it had that magic, and I was like, yes. And it was interesting because I guess I just got lucky that I felt good with it after it's been out, because there's Empire of the Sun had a song. And
yeah, you showed me that band too, dude. It was when we were trimming weed one time, I think, dude. It was like you had it on a playlist.
Oh, dude, Empire of the Sun is the shit. I love them.
Yeah.
And they had a song, and I can't remember the song title or whatever, but off the top of my head, but they had it was done like 2 or 3 years prior to, and they made it, and they had it. Sometimes when you lay down, you just kind of put down some chords, or you put down some guitar, and you're not worried about the effects, and you're not worried about the delay or the EQ on the piano or how it's going to mesh with other instruments or whatever. And when they did it, they replaced some of the instruments when they went into production mode or whatever, and they didn't have the magic that it had when they originally just kind of whipped it out and freestyled it, you know?
Yeah.
But it had some magic in it. So he had it mixed by like 3 different engineers, like multiple times. Like they're on mix 23 by the 3rd engineer, and the magic's not there. And the artist was just like, I don't want to release it. It was better the way I heard it first. And I get it, you know. Sometimes it just Kanye did that with Stronger Faster. No, Stronger Faster. Yeah, so that bass line and the kick and the 808s.
Is it a Daft Punk sample or something?
Yeah, but that 808s, he couldn't get the bottom end, and I struggle with this all the time, even to this day. He couldn't get the bottom end to hit like he wanted it to hit, and without it, compromising some sonic integrity from other instrumentation. So he had Timbo come in, and Timbo took his kick and showed him. He's like, man, you got it. You can't get it because your kick is out of key. And Kanye was like, what? Kicks are
Yeah,
in key?
drums have key. Yeah.
Yeah, like what? So
yeah.
he pitched that sucker up and then find that sweet spot, the root note of the song, because it's just a boom, it's that driving, and it just sits down, just chopped and lowered, and just
yeah, that's one thing I'm trying to learn too, because all the guys in the band, they can, in the first 10 seconds they'll be like, oh, that's in the key of this, and then they'll start playing on their guitar. I'm like, how the fuck do you guys know that so like instantly, you know what I mean? And so I'm trying to learn. Like I really feel like a dumb shit most times when I'm around them, but I they know I'm a student, so they try and tell me shit when they know I don't understand.
Soak it up.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it feels good to be around people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely want to surround yourself with smarter people.
Yeah. No doubt. I agree, man.
It's like you're a senior on the JV squad. You're not going to grow, playing ball. But if you're a 8th grader, or you're on the C squad, and you're playing on the varsity. I mean, you're forced to pick up your game.
Yeah.
You have to. But yeah, Empire of the Sun, Coldplay. There were a lot of bands. Bravery. There were a lot of bands that really influenced that motivation for that whole record. So, man, you make me nostalgic. I need to go back and listen to some of these bands.
Well, dude, is Major Parade? Is it still online, or is it down now?
I let it lapse. I didn't renew it.
Fuck, dude, can you CD baby that shit? And just because it, I think people would really listen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's because I know Burn County is gonna crush as far as sales and scope and everything, but it is cool to have that catalog out there, bro. Because the Burn County shit's gonna be dope, but you're a much more diverse producer than that, And so
I'm really waiting for Spotify's doing the Spotify for artists or Spotify for writers. So like all of my credited, I have like 200 million streams, and I'm not credited on my Burn County. Nobody knows that. It's like the writer for Whitney Houston. Dolly Parton was the one that wrote. What's that big song, Whitney Houston song? And Always Love You. I'll always love you.
Kevin Costner movie. The Kevin Costner movie.
Dolly Parton.
The Bodyguard. Yeah. But Dolly Parton wrote that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Dolly Parton wrote that, but you go on Spotify and it's not on Dolly's page, So all the music and stuff that I've written for like things that have got like 20 and 30 million streams. I don't have like actually, I get it credited on BMI and all the publishing avenues, but I don't get credit on Spotify. If you go to my page,
I almost wish that was a requirement, that it said produced by so and so on the actual square, or like, you remember when, because MTV used to say that too. It would say like the artist, the label, and the producer, I think, or maybe that was VH1 or BET, but
yeah, I remember.
It's like you could tell who made it. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find the credits nowadays, man. Like sometimes I'll be like, man, who the fuck made those beats? And a lot of the kids nowadays are hip, and they put their tag in there a million times throughout the whole song. And so it's like, okay, that person made it. But a lot of the more artful dudes who aren't stashing that in there, shoving it down your throat, it's like, man, I would still like to know who that guy is to look up more of his work,
Yeah, and it's more important now than ever to get you credited. But when everybody's, Tom, Dick, and Harry are going and just like uploading it by themselves and on CD Baby and TuneCore and DistroKid and 1RPM, and they're doing all these things, and you can fill out these forms, but some of them aren't mandatory, just like you said. So if it's not mandatory, and they're not gonna put it in there, or you don't do it right. I didn't even do the tagging right on Undefeated, because it was my first one with a certain distributor. I was on a previous one before, and now I went to a different one. And the way I put the title in, I put the name Undefeated. I wanted it Undefeated featuring Outlaw. but it just says undefeated, and then featuring Outlaw as a subtitle underneath. So when you go on Spotify, it doesn't say featuring Outlaw, but in the credits it says Jared. It says his name. So I don't know. Yeah, but it's important. Any musicians out there, just make sure that you get your name in there, because that's the only proof that you have that you did the song, that you did your work. And when you can link it, when they do open it up for it's beta testing right now is what I'm saying for the Spotify artists, so they will see all of my work. Ron,
I'm not featured on a bunch of shit, but I want that same thing. I want anything I'm featured on to link to me, and vice versa. Any artist that I have on my shit, I want, it's like, also check out these guys, and I want my podcast shit linked to it also. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's the same dude doing these things. So if you're a fan of this, check out this, and this too.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so it's not on streaming anything, but
damn it, Ty, please put it back out.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, man. Like, I think it's worth the $100 or whatever, dude. Like, I'll jam it. You know what I mean? I'll find it, jam the shit out of it. Because I think everybody, once a couple people heard that CD, because I think I bought 10 of them for you for the low, you know what I mean? And they're gone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
gone.
I didn't. So I never. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I got to go back and listen to it and see how my mixing was. Like, so difficult.
I'm there with you, Ty. I sat there behind you, and I'm with that. Yeah. Ty, Mitchell says remastered version. Yeah, digitally remastered. Yeah.
Yeah. Remix it. Yeah, remaster it. Yeah, it's like the Beatles remastered.
Yep. So after that, it was like, and that's another part of the question, dude, because you've reinvented yourself so many times, man. It was Tyrant Productions, there was the Tyrant Productions compilation, and then there's the Major Parade, and then there's Itty Bitty Bee Club. I don't think you put out a project as Itty Bitty Bee Club, but one of my videos says Itty Bitty Bee Club in it because that's what you were doing when we made that. Yeah. And then so what made you ditch that and roll with Burn County? Did you just can you talk about that transition a little bit too, because that's another reinvention that it seemed like there was you were getting a lot of work, but then you just kind of refocused on that one area or genre, I guess.
Yeah, I went to California, and because after Spokane, I had some other Tacoma and Seattle, and then went down to California, and I met up with the Moonshine Bandits, and they were doing Bay rap stuff, like a bunch of compilation albums, with all the Bay guys. And as much as that, I like that sound because it has kind of like that funk. It's got bass line. It's got funky bass lines, and
I grew up on that shit. Yeah, it's all the Northwest rap artists, not all, but a majority of copy that sound too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's like the Northwest backpacker sound, underground sound, and then there's the West Coast sound that they've adopted. So, when we were down there, what happened was one of the guys, I think Eminem dropped. Yeah, I'm gonna give Eminem the credit here. Eminem dropped. Was it Do Si Do?
Oh, Square Dance.
Square Dance.
Down. Down.
Yeah. So I had this artist in Spokane named Overdose.
I remember him. He did graphics too, right?
Oh, dude, still he's freaking killer. He's running a brewery in Spokane now.
What's it called?
Oh, I'll have to send it to you.
Fuck, I want him on the podcast too, man.
Dude, yes, you should get him on the podcast. Dude, that guy's super dope, man. I got a lot of love for Adam. But so Overdose, Adam, he did this song where he was, so Eminem did Square Dance, and he did a song called Do Si Do.
Yeah, that was on the Tyrant compilation, the Red CD.
Yeah, that was the Tyrant production compilation, and that song got a lot of attention. It from like Haystack and Moonshine they were a bunch of other guys, whatever in the Bay, were on a compilation album, and Overdose. I can't remember the details, but he got a, a feature from Moonshine or something, and they really liked that sound, and then they contacted me, and I happened to move to be in Cali, and we started kind of going in this different direction with guitars and I mean not all at first. It was a slow transition. I mean, if you listen to the old albums and the tracks that I've done for them, I mean, it started out like hip hop. Timberland is a huge influence of mine, big percussion, and then they
I remember you sending me that Chris Cornell and Timberland album too back then, man.
Yeah, I really, yeah, that's another huge influence. When he's crossing genres like that, like Timbo really just, I don't know, I really looked up to him. I mean, looked is past tense because I really haven't been happy with what he's been doing lately, but he was very innovative and he just stepped outside the box and he did things that people didn't, like didn't think they were gonna was worth it. But he did that album with Chris Cornell, and there were like 4 songs on there that I absolutely loved. And it was funny because the Timbo fans, I think there was more of appreciation from Timbo fans to Chris Cornell than Chris Cornell fans did not like him doing that record.
Nah, what the fuck is this, man? This ain't, you know what I mean? This ain't rock and roll. This ain't Seattle. This ain't LA.
Yeah, dude, I got a lot of like bad negative feedback on forums and stuff like that when the album dropped, and I thought it was genius because he was working with Bubba Sparks and doing things outside of the box. He went real, almost like a Turkish. Oh gosh, what's that Turkish guitar? Gam starts with the G. Anyways,
sitar.
No, that's the Indonesian.
Oh, okay.
These anyways, that those Indian flutes with Turkish guitars, and all of a sudden Bubba Sparks is wrestling in the mud with a freaking pig. Like, I'm going, what? what is this?
Yeah.
This is hard. This goes hard in the car, and it goes hard in the club. And dude, I was like, and then when Deliverance came out, I was like, so Dark Days, Dark Nights. That whole thing just really lit that whole fuse in me to kind of think outside the box instead of just doing synth or bass lines and synths and 808s and like strings. That was kind of hip hop, He just brought in all these different elements, and I was like, how did he do this? Dude, just freaking crazy stuff. Taking 3/4 beats, 3/4 timed samples, chopping them up, making them into 4/4, and it would create this insane sound. And I was like the P.D. Pablo songs that he did, those bangers over there, that he'd take like samples of 3/4 times, like
North Carolina razor. Yeah.
Dude, it was so sick.
Dude. Yeah.
So, dude, that stuff, I don't know what it's gonna take to make me go, what is this? When I listen to music, I don't get that innovative feel anymore. It's like I can literally, you could give me a new music Friday Spotify playlist, and I can tell you, as soon as the song starts, I can tell you what instruments are going to be in it, when the beat's going to drop. If it's going to be a boom, ka-boom, 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 a dance hall Latin song, I can tell you all these things. I I shit you not, put me on the spot, and do it anytime. I'm right way more than I want to be. And it's just a clear testament that music is not original anymore. It's everybody's chasing, oh, I want to sound like him. Oh, can you make me beat that sounds like that? Oh, I want to sound like you make me, which is so funny as a producer because here's Ty, boop boop beep boop boop, drum pad. Hey, I got a beat for you, and you're like, I don't feel it, and then I go and give it to another artist. Then they do something with it, and all of a sudden you hear it and go, hey, can you make me beat like you made him? Where's that fire? Where's that fire coming from? And I'm like, bro, that was on the demo tape I sent you 2 years ago. You passed on it, but they made
Yeah.
something with it. So it's
Yeah, that happened a few times too, where I would write a song and the song is based on the artist it was made for. I didn't know that till after the fact. It's like, oh fuck. I'm like, I thought that's how the beat was. I'm like, that's I wrote the song like that. It's like, huh,
that's
that's
the
funny.
vibe it got. That's the vibe it got. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's funny though, because I got a couple artists that always want me to do trap drums. Put trap drums in. Put trap drums in. I'm like, and they know I hate trap drums because, like, I mean, you buy any trap drum sample kit or whatever, and you got 50 beats. They all sound the same. The tempos are a little bit different. You got sprinkler hi-hats, the really thin kicks, big old 808s. It's the same thing. And most of the time they're in like 4 different keys, which is fine. It's fine, whatever. It's feel, it's a vibe, it is what it is. But when they all sound the same, and then the rappers start sounding the same, and I'm not being a
yeah.
hater. I'm not being a hater on any of this stuff because these guys are some
I'm
people
not either.
super huge.
I'm not either. Yeah.
But it gives me it invokes no passion, it invokes no feeling or
It's not
emotion.
inspiring to me,
No,
man.
no. And
At all.
and technology is really making it easier there's like Splice and all these different loop libraries and stuff, loops.com and all these stuff. Like you can go and get you could buy Apple loop sets for GarageBand, all this stuff, and whatever you want. They got loops for them. So you take them and you drag them in and you make a beat. Heck, you have an iPad and you got GarageBand on there and you just boop, 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 boop. I mean, my niece is making music and sending me all this stuff or whatever because I'm like, oh, that's super dope. And I'm just dragging in loops, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when everybody can do it and then you hear it all the time, it then becomes, it becomes unoriginal.
Monotonous, man. Yeah.
If Little John was still doing music to this day, how he did music, all of his songs were like the same tempo, the same key, and it was the same abrasive synths, and he had his lane, and he put that pedal down and rode that floor.
And like the auto tune, also, it's like I remember when you guys got that plug-in. It's like everybody pitched in $100 because we couldn't pay for TalkBox guys, so we get the auto tune plug-in. It's like, fuck, I wanted to use it on every single song after that because I loved the way it sounded, and it took guys like, you'd be like, hey man, don't do it on this one, just sing on this one, and don't like get away from that because it's becoming monotonous. And now, like, dude, Godsmack has a song with auto tune, man. Fucking Breaking Benjamin has a song with auto tune, and I'm just it's on the chorus and everything in the mix with I'm like, what the fuck? It's weird nowadays.
Yeah.
And I would rather hear those guys, especially those guys, sing in their regular voice. It's like, bro, don't robot that shit. You're fucking. I'm listening for your vocals too, dude. Like, not like this,
Yeah, it'll be interesting though to see kind of if you felt that way and their demographic was say your age fit the demographic and you were the one buying tickets to their concerts and when they would go on tour. It's going to be really interesting to see these artists because I mean, people might disagree with me here, but I'm sorry, sometimes the fans dictate your sound. So if you try to change lanes or do something different and the fans don't like that, you can't do that. It's like, no, you made music that I liked and now you're doing something different. I don't want to like you anymore, which is going to be an interesting element when nobody's going on tour anymore. Like COVID's changing the game. So if nobody's doing, and that's where they make all their money. Like I ate Top Ramen noodles for freaking 8 years, because I made money up front or whatever, and they go on tour and then they make all their money on merch and on the tour and all that stuff, and I wouldn't get any of that. So if they're not making the money on that touring, and the different demographic is going to be dictating what music they do, it will be interesting to see what music some bands do.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like the radio station out here, 94 and a half, they got some kind of concert coming up that's online. Steel Panther is the band, I guess, and I don't know how much it is to tune into the stream, but you can sign up for their little fan membership on their station or some shit. And it's weird. It's like they're really hyping it, dude. And it's been like 2 months they've been hyping it. So I've never heard of that band before, but I've heard people say they're dope. So I kind of want to check it out. But it's like, fuck, that really changes the business model a lot. You know what I mean? And cuts a lot of money out for other people who were getting paid off that industry. It's like everybody who worked at the venue, everybody who worked on the road crew, everybody who created the videos, everybody on the sound squad, the technicians for the guitars, like those guys aren't really necessary to do a live stream, man. You can dress up your practice room and set up some cameras and mic everything up, and that's pretty much it. So,
well,
are people going to pay money to see that? You know what I mean? It's like,
and yeah,
I don't know, because Tool's visual show, bro, the musicians are stellar, but the visuals at the show is like insane. But I don't think it would look the same on a TV screen. You know?
No, that the atmosphere captured at a live concert when the performers are talented it's unmatched. You can't capture that on a web stream. Yeah, I think that you said something I was going to mention on the streaming. Oh yeah, I did. The Dreamcast not Dreamcast, the Daydream, which is the VR for Google. So
okay,
you put a Pixel phone in the Google Daydream, and I watched the Naked and Famous concert in 3D, and that was a trip because they had 360 cameras set up near the musicians, so they had the stage set up. They performed, and you could pick which camera you wanted to go to and look around. So you could go behind the drummer and watch over their shoulder of them banging on the drums, and then go over to the singer and have her wailing and then go over to the other singer and he's wailing in his mic and the keyboard player. But you could pick and look around, and it was a trip like that. That was cool. I don't think everybody's ready for VR yet. I still think I think it's making big waves, and that this might actually be this COVID thing. I think this might actually push us as a country, as a world. I think it might push us like quicker into the future. I think there's going to be a lot of innovation coming out where people are going to be able to be entertained at home safely, because this shit is real, and it's going to change the game forever. And I think there's going to be these things that were kind of on the edge are going to go and take off. I think.
Word. Well, like, how does that? How much is a ticket? Because to go and see Tool, like a regular seat, if you're lucky and get on like the day the first 10 minutes they're on sale, general admission is like $75. So
yeah, I don't know. It just depends on
like how much, because if you can have attendance or viewership for this live performance that is in the millions instead of the tens of thousands or whatever the venue capacity is, doesn't that significantly change the price? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
because a UFC costs $65 for HD. You know what I mean? And it's like a 5-hour show. That's 5 hours, and they've been doing it the whole time they've been doing it. So
yeah, but here's the difference between UFC and musicians. When Khabib fights Conor, that is one time. And when Tool goes up and performs their set, it's the same. They're doing the same set over and over and over and over and over again. So
yeah, they might change a couple of songs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, they'll do the same one for like 10 dates and change a couple of songs.
But just like you've seen maybe on New Year's Eve on television or any live performance on television, the MTV Awards or whatever. I mean, some of that is, it's some of very few of those I think like are are super. How do I say this? Like the Eminem where he walks out in front of all the crowds where everyone like me stand up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody, a
and he had like
bunch of blonde haired
200
dudes in white
M&Ms.
t-shirts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was super innovative and cool and everything. But if you take those things, take those elements, take Prince's epic performance, take Queen's epic performance, take all these performances and take away the crowd and the energy and have them perform on stage, there's not going to be the magic there. As a musician,
Nah,
the magic is not going to be there.
nah. Seeing the number go up on a screen isn't really gonna make you juice up more and
No.
play harder. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
When
Who
everybody's
cares?
screaming
I
at
want
the
to
top
hear
of
some
the,
people yelling around with their hands
yeah,
in the air. You know what I mean? Like singing
yeah,
the words and shit.
when they're using crowd control, dude, even Moonshine, when they're doing the set, like they freaking just, they get the crowd involved every time they do a show. It's super catchy, innovative. Like they all of my artists, Long Cut does it, Demon does it. Like they sing, they get everybody singing like a Garth Brooks song, and then they transition to another song, and everybody's singing it and having a good time. And then they're like, two people on stage, so Bird and Dusty, one of them will take and they'll split up the crowd, and he's like, man, fuck all you guys on the right, man, these are my people, like,
Yeah.
hey, can I get a fuck you? And then and then they do a yell contest, and it's like old senior or high school pep rally type thing, and that stuff is fun. It's fun, and
Especially when you're drunk, man. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and you're not gonna get
And
that. You're not gonna get that magic online. I'm not against it, and I hope that they do come up with innovative ways to make it you know, make it worthwhile for people who want to actually be engaged in that. So I'm not sure how that's going to be done though.
word. All right. So, what about the new Burn County compilation, man? Because I think we're pretty current. You talked about your influences and changes and everything. When did you start? How did you start Burn County? Because that was a while ago too. Can you talk about the beginning of that and then also the current? We talked about the single, but the current compilation you have coming out.
Well, so Derek, the guy who did the Pullman song, he and I still do music to this day, and we're really heavy and wanting to do a project. And I just had a bigger vision of doing something more, like basically starting a label. Like we could do this. Like we got now we got it all. We got video editors, we got mixers, we got composers, writers, producers. We got yeah, we got everything. We got access to booking agents and getting people on tour, and I mean there's all the pieces, all the dominoes line up now. And when we started Burn County, it was just really going heavy in that direction of kind of just the country hip hop type vibe, have more live instrumentation with the hip hop elements. I think that's the one thing that I find that's kind of separates. Um, it's been named blue core, like blue collar hip hop.
Yeah.
And
That's what I try to call it. That's what I try to call it when I play it in my car for people.
yeah, blue core.
It's called blue core.
There's another one that's been picking up steam, is dirt rock. But that's also a label, like the Dirt Rock Empire, which is the Lax and stuff. They've been kind of coining the dirt rock music. So, but yeah, blue core, dirt rock. I think those two genres really kind of sum up a lot of this stuff, because it's a lot of blue collar people, like just really relate to some of this music with the blues guitars and the rock and roll, classic rock elements. I think and this obviously the title or the subject really kind of connect with blue collar workers. And I, yeah, I think everybody in this genre that speaks about it has done their share. I mean, I do desk work now, but man, I'll never forget my blue collar jobs. Like, definitely memories at throughout my life. But yeah, I think Burn County just really, the name, it just, Derek came with it and it just fit. And we just were like, boom, that's it, Burn County. So we ran with that, and Derek became Durwood Black. And yeah, and I didn't even know he could sing like he sings now. I'm like, dude, freaking fire.
Yeah. You guys put an album out already, correct?
Yeah, the Welcome to Burn County.
And it's on Welcome to Burn County. Yeah, dude. And Derek is on there singing that song, Take It Back, dude. Like, that is the banger, bro. Hey, you should still shoot a video for that, bro. Because that shit is hot.
I'm doing a lyric video for it. Because it's okay. Because we released all these songs and we didn't really promote it or anything, so it never really got picked up and listened to. But now that I'm releasing new songs with artists I'm working with now and associating Burn County with it, they're kind of going, what else has this guy got? And all of a sudden, this other stuff is upticking. I mean, I had 3,000 listeners on Spotify last month. This month, I have 18,000. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's really picking up steam, and I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger. I mean, Durwood has like 130,000 Spotify monthly listeners. And I think that when this compilation, I have another song called Hitching Post, which is a lyric video that I just did, because it's really hard to shoot videos right now. So I'm trying to do something visually or whatever, just so people can kind of get it on YouTube and listen to it and see the lyrics and stuff. So I'll be doing a lot of lyric videos, but yeah, Take It Back is going to be Take It Back, and Filthy Dirty are going to be two more lyric videos. But yeah, Take It Back is a fantastic song. I really am proud of that one. And we're doing a lot of remixes too. I did a whole EP remix, like 6 songs of Demon Jones. I'm just taking old music and putting new fresh ears to it and new music to it and really breathing life back into it. So it's been really exciting because I like to hear stuff that's 10 years old and then come back to it, and especially from other producers or whatever, where I get to kind of give a second approach to it or whatever in a different manner and really give it a different sound. But yeah, Welcome to Burn County, and now the new compilation, Burn County.
Yeah, what's it called?
Burn County Citizens.
Burn County Citizens. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, look out for that. You got a release date for it yet?
I'm going to release, it's probably going to come out in maybe, no, I don't. Probably, I'm looking at November because I'm trying to get some other things in
before
line.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Before Christmas?
Yep, before Christmas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And I'll be releasing, I got a song called Fade Away that's going to be released. Well, actually, so Hitching Post is going to be released any day now, as soon as 1RPM approves it. And then a couple weeks after that, I got another single coming out called Fade Away with Demon Jones. So we got a lot of good songs, and I'm super excited. The Burn County Music or Burn County YouTube channel is starting to really pick up steam. I'm starting to really supply a lot of content for that. I actually just talked to Jordan Wheeler about maybe being like, the Burn County channel has a lot of
shout out to Jordy.
Yeah, a lot of avenues that I think that I just think have a lot of potential, and I really want to make it an entertaining channel. And he might head up a kind of fishing and hunting side, like there's going to be Burn County Music and then all these little sub channels or whatever, so people can subscribe to the fishing and hunting, the Burn County Fishing and Hunting, the Burn County the Burn County Buddy from Burn County.
Yeah.
Like, if you want all of it, you just subscribe to Burn County and you'll see it all. Or if you want to go to your sub channels, then you can have that. So there's a lot of stuff in the works that I kind of want to get into, tutorials and stuff of everything, how I make my music, what kind of plugins, how I mix, how I master. Just really kind of interviews, tutorials, tips, tricks, behind the scenes, music. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Yeah.
Can you talk about anybody else you got on the compilation, like, or how many songs or anything like that? Like,
Right now there's
because I
12.
know you have a lot of material to choose from. I know that.
Yeah,
Man.
right now there's 12. There's like 18 of them that are on but like about 6 of them are on the chopping block. We got a lot of good features on here. Moonshine Bandits, Demon Jones, Redneck Soldiers, Outlaw, Long Cut. Um, we got, yeah, I gotta go. Oh, Domain, new guy from Texas is, yeah, stellar. Great singing voice. Great singing voice. Yeah, and I actually got to talk to you about the your one of your songs.
Oh, dude, yeah, cleared,
Yeah,
bro. Like, whatever. I'm trying to. I want to be on there. You know.
yeah.
Like,
So,
yeah, whatever. It's whatever.
oh yeah,
Yes.
we got another.
Is it?
We got a. We got. Oh yeah, there's some. Oh, I got some gems for you. I ain't gonna tell you. I don't need a name drop. I don't need a name drop. I
Okay.
got some good features coming up on this compilation. It's gonna be fantastic, dude. Yeah. And I think that I'm gonna give them like 4 or 5, kind of slow release over the next couple months, and then we'll drop the rest of the songs so they can pick them all up on the compilation. But it's gonna be on Burn County, Spotify, and yeah, so super excited.
Yeah. Are you gonna print up CDs too?
I don't think so. Not for this one.
Not for this one. Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
Dope.
we did print up. We just printed up the new Moonshine ones, the Fire.
Yo. Yo.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude. I'm not trying to,
Yeah.
give you any hard questions or anything. Can I ask? Another part of your channel too is you have a character named Buddy who's creating content on your channel, right?
Yeah. Buddy, did you want to talk to him?
Yeah, man. Can we get Buddy on for like 5 minutes at the end here before we wrap? I want you to come back before we wrap, but I'll ask Buddy a couple of questions too.
Okay, Buddy. Yeah, he wants to talk to you. What's up, man? Somebody call me?
Yo, what's good, buddy? This is KDM Kane on Concerned Dabs Podcast. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Man, fucking love your show, bro. Yeah, you're my homie. Fuck yeah.
No doubt. Thanks, man. What are you sipping on out there, buddy?
Got some Crown and Coke. What?
Crown and Coke. Nice, man. I'm sipping on this top cutter IPA from Bale Breaker. They said the hops are grown in Yakima, Washington, bro. So
hell yeah, local boy.
Yeah, man, I gotta rock with that shit. So you got a new gig working for Burn County on the YouTube channel?
Yes, sir. I haven't had my real debut yet, but I'm gonna be dope. I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be like super big, and I don't give a fuck if anybody likes me because do me.
No doubt, I can dig it, buddy. I dig the attitude. I feel like that all the time too. I try to be nice, but in the end, fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fuck them.
So what do they got you doing over there, dude? Are you interviewing some of those blue core, dirty rock artists and stuff? Like, is that like what else do they got you doing, man? Are you gonna make some video cameos and shit like that too?
Yeah, he's got me doing interviews and like some tutorials and shit, like how Burn County makes music and on songs that already got released, but like how was the music made? Oh, and some editing behind the scenes of artists in the studio with BC, and yeah, it's gonna be great, man. There's a bunch of shit, and for those of you that don't want to fucking watch it, I don't give a fuck.
No doubt. Well, I'm gonna check it out, buddy. And the next time I come out there to Burn County, I'm gonna fuck with you and smoke some weed, man.
Hell yeah,
drink some beers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
Man, but I wanna holler at your boss again. All right, I'm gonna get at you.
Yeah, one love, bro.
Peace out.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Word. No doubt. Yeah, shout out to Buddy for appearing on the podcast also. You know what I mean? He's not in full effect yet, but it looks like he's happy to have a gig. Right?
Yeah.
Good to be working. Good to be working.
He's excited.
Word. So, what else do you want to? Oh, wait. Before we go, I fucking always forget to ask this, bro. So, two-sided question. First side is the good side. What is your best move on the path to where you're at right now? What has been your best move? Maybe it's not just one thing, but maybe one behavior or one, like.
I think the one that comes to mind, I actually learned from you.
Okay.
You said give everybody 5 minutes. If you give somebody 5 minutes of your time, if somebody, because the bigger you get, the more people holler at you. So, and you never can tell who's legit or who's serious or who it is. But I think you've had some experiences or whatever where there's been some opportunities for you that have been passed up on because you didn't give them that 5 minutes. And I remember those things, and that lesson really stuck with me. So I definitely try to give. I let people dig their own graves. Like I would love to work with anybody, and yeah, if they don't come through or they are all talk and then no show, then that's cool. I don't have to exert energy into that anymore. I can focus on people that want to make moves, and really positioning yourself with others that don't see you as competition. I've noticed a lot of people in the music industry. There's some people that that bogart all their secrets, producers that protect all their secrets, and if anybody wants to know anything, I'm gonna tell everybody how I do it all. It's not gonna be any secrets. And you can find all this stuff online already. But with regards to musicians, collaborating with people that actually have your best interest, that always see things as a win-win. With people that
I like that too, man, for real.
It's really good people that I feel like have my back, and I just want to be more for them. When somebody does for me, I want to do twice for them. So treat others how you want to be treated. I think that those things take. I think those are really big steps and lessons that I've kind of gone by that have gotten me where I'm at.
Okay. The other side of the question, what has been your biggest mistake on the path to where you're at right now, or your biggest fuck up?
Depending on other people. That's an easy one. I've wasted many years. I've wasted many. And hesitating, like when something's not right or doesn't I have a whole song that's done it's written, recorded, the video is shot for it, and it's been sitting on my computer for a year and a half now. Yeah. And I just, when you don't it's all about these days.
I think I have that song in my Serato, and I fucking really want you to put it out too. So, yeah. The fuck you doing? Ty? Why you bullshitting?
Yeah. Why you bullshitting? Yeah, I think just depending on other people to do stuff, it just doesn't. It's never been beneficial in my world. I don't know how it bodes for other people, but you are the CEO of your own company. You make decisions that affect you. So if you want to do something, go fucking do it. Don't wait on someone else to make a move for you. It's your turn at the chessboard, and you get to make the move. What are you going to do? Don't just sit there and wait for someone else to discover you. Make a move.
Yeah. Good advice, man. I dig it a lot too, because I done the same thing, man. Like trying to work with certain artists or trying to schedule a session player or meet up with someone that I met driving Lyft, and it's like, fuck, they flaked again. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's one thing I felt about making my move back to the Northwest was that there's already guys that I know that would be down to work. And so far, like everybody I've called has, for the most part, said, yeah, man, show up. It's like 2 weeks, let's pick a date. And it's show up and do the work and get it done. And it just feels really good to have folks like that and to just be able to schedule the time, be like, no, I'll show up with everything, I'll record it, and then I'll edit it, and everything's good. You know, so it feels dope to be around friends that are trying to do work, because it was fun in Phoenix for those couple years, bro. You know what I mean? I healed up and I made a couple friends down there, but I didn't have so many musical artistic homies that I can plug in with like I do out here. So I'm really glad I came back, you know.
Yeah, it's nice to have a team. You can get really far with a team.
Yeah, I agree, man. So that's the question I try to ask at every interview, especially for people that I view as successful. Is there anything else that you want to promote as far as ideas or projects? Like, cause fuck, dude, like the YouTube channel is gonna be dope. I can't wait until you make some tutorial shit and stuff like that too. But anything that we didn't talk about in the interview that you'd like to mention, and then can you also plug your social media?
Yeah, I think as far as like missing anything, I really just welcome everybody to subscribe to the Burn County YouTube channel and the Burn County IG. Those are the two social avenues that I'm putting energy into. I don't do anything else. So those will be the driving avenues. And if you are interested in anything that Burn County is doing and the artists that we're working with, yeah, please go and subscribe to Burn County YouTube and Burn County Spotify and Burn County IG.
Dope. So Burn County on YouTube, Spotify, and IG. There's content already available.
Yep.
Video and audio, and much more video and audio content to come in the future. Yeah. Ty's been in the crib working, man. So I'm excited to hear some of the stuff, man.
Yeah, I am excited about some of the behind the scenes. We got an interview coming up with Moonshine because the new record's dropping, so we got some behind the scene footage of them in the studio and on the mic and everything. And I'm laying down guitar, so it's really some great behind the scenes stuff that I think the fans are gonna dig. Yeah, so it's gonna be good. I think that Burn County is in a really good place, working with so many artists, and that's what this compilation I'm kind of putting together to bring everybody back together. Like, hey, everybody's in the same game. Let's play on the same day. We're all in the same sport. Let's play the same game.
Yeah, man. I'm down, man. I'm down, Ty. Like, real.
I appreciate you having me on. And yeah, dude, Kane, one love, dude. Mad love for you. You're a good friend, and yeah, I'm glad you're in my life.
Yeah, same, Ty. Same, man. Glad to be working with you and glad to have you as a friend too, man. Like, it feels. I told Craze that man, it just feels good to work with guys that I like and that I know and I believe are talented. You know what I mean? So, it's cool to have a little bit of teamwork, man. You know what I mean? It's good to have homies you can call. So I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
And dude, and for producing all of my shit the past 20 years, you know what I mean? Like I gotta give a shout out to you too. I made a post like that on Facebook that said, if you're into my music, my producer, you know, he's gonna be on the show tonight. Check it out. So
that's cool, man. I appreciate it.
Hopefully a couple folks tuned in, but even if not, I'll click share and I'll try and put your links in the description and then send you. It takes a couple days to upload to Spotify, I think. So I'll send you the links for that. And I think we're on Google and Apple and Stitcher. So
sweet. I love it.
I don't know, you share that somewhere or whatever. Even if not, maybe you got a homie who listens to one of those things.
I'll make a post on my social media. Just send me whatever the links are, whatever where people can view it and listen to it and go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, good looking out, Ty. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do my outro dance. This was the 70th episode of Concerned Devs Podcast. I was your host, Katie M. Kane. My guest tonight, the man, Tyrant from Burn County. He's got a compilation coming out real soon. Single just dropped, Undefeated. Please check out the video. Please download it on iTunes. Check it out on Spotify. And stay tuned to his YouTube channel, Burn County. He's got a whole bunch of content coming out in the very near future. And that compilation, before Christmas, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen, before Christmas. So we're gonna hear that shit, and I'm hype about it. So thanks again for coming on the show, Ty. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I got to give a shout out. Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my guys in production, Mitchell Wilson and Jesse Curry. This has been a Main Node and Joseph Street Enterprise production. Got it, Mitchell? I think that's it.